So if you guys are not familiar with this situation, we're going to get into all of the details. But basically, this middle school teacher is at school and he is getting his hair unbraided by 5 of the female students. And he did, I think, a live stream on TikTok or on social media. The video went viral and it caused a lot of conversation. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to get into the compilation of videos, and I'm going to express to you guys my feelings, my opinions on the entire situation. There is some of the videos are a little bit longer, so you are going to hear the vocals sped up a little bit just because, I didn't want it to be too long. Where sometimes we can kind of like get off of topic of what he's saying because of the video being so long. So I'm just going to go ahead and press play. And then I will pause and insert myself whenever I have a thought until the end of the video. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into the video that started all the controversy, which is this first initial video.
Number one, for a little context, I had a hair appointment immediately after school, and I needed my hair taken out beforehand. I would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in to shoot a promotional video, and I was one of the ones being interviewed. So I had to look presentable, so I didn't take my hair out.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start clearing some people. Start off with this gentleman right here. You're letting your daughters play in a grown man's head. God forbid I had kids, but if I had a daughter with a teacher like myself, with a good heart, good spirit, sound mind, no, I would not mind if they took his hair out. That's what little girls like to do. They like to do hair and do nails and makeup. I have 5 little sisters. You bet your ass I done had a wig on my head before, had a whole lace front. I done got my nails painted, eyebrows done. Bro, this is what they do. As a father, I would even let my daughter do those things. Like if she wanted to paint my nails pink or freaking put a wig on me or do my hair or put makeup on me, I'm going to do every single one of those things. You know why? Because I'm secure in my masculinity. That's one thing that I think is stumping a lot of guys, a lot of grown men today, is they are not secure with themselves and they project their own insecurities onto others.
Okay, so before we go any further, because I just want to highlight this first initial thing that happened. So basically, they're in school, it's middle school, and these young girls they all have their own combs. I'm not sure if he told them the day prior to bring a comb. I'm not sure if he emailed them or texted them. I'm not sure what the dynamics were, why all of the young women came to school with a comb initially, and were ahead of the game. I don't know if he supplied the combs. I have no idea. Okay. However, in my personal opinion, okay, this is just my opinion, you guys are welcome to have your own opinions as well, but in my personal opinion, if it was my daughter who was in middle school and she was taking out her male teacher's hair, I would have a problem. Okay, if my daughter was in school and she was taking out her female teacher's hair, I would also have a problem. Because I would be trying to figure out why it is that you are, quote unquote, as this comment said, playing in the teacher's head when you are supposed to be at school learning. I'm just a little bit confused. Next thing that he said, is that a man commented and said, so you're going to let your daughter play in a grown man's head? And immediately the teacher went kind of in defense mode and basically stated that, not only would he not have a problem with his daughter taking out, a male teacher's hair, but also he has no problem with his daughter putting nail polish on him. He has no problem with, his daughter putting makeup on him because he's secure within his masculinity. And I just want to say, I personally believe that it is for a man to check another man. Right. And so I'm just speaking from a place of being observant based off of this dialogue that is on social media and for us to have a deeper conversation. But basically, in my personal opinion, okay, I do not believe that it means that a man is insecure within his masculinity if he does not want to have his nails painted, if he does not want to play and make up with his daughter, if he does not want to dress in a tutu and stuff like that. I don't think that validates security or insecurity of a man if he wants to do these feminine things or if he doesn't. Because if a woman goes outside and decides that she's going to, if her son wants to play football with her and she goes out and she throws the ball, I don't think it has anything to do with her being secure or insecure. But I would believe that a lot of women who are very in tune with their femininity do not want to partake in wrestling with their son, or putting on boxing gloves, or playing rough and tussling, and I don't think that makes them insecure in their femininity. But there's a lot more to address, so I just wanted to address that first initial conversation, and I'm going to go ahead and press play.
Everything doesn't have to be weird. It's even the way you worded this question. Read this. You're letting your daughters play in a grown man's head. Do you see how you're already trying to spin that? That's very telling of what you have going on upstairs. We as a people have to abandon this idea of, sexual intimacy being tied with getting your hair done. People have this view because typically you're intimate in a sexual manner with someone who does your hair. Automatically, this whole hair video is going to cause some people like, oh, where's that? That's weird. But again, it's very telling of your own state of mind. For you to watch a video like that, literally had the camera set up, protect myself, protect my students, y'all can see there's nothing suggestive going on. It's like family, it's like community, as people were saying in the chat. This is simply a wholesome, innocent, community-oriented activity. As people mentioned, hair is very important in Black culture. We connect and we bond through our hair. And just like I said, little girls love to do hair. Bro, they jumped at the opportunity to help take my hair out and showcase their skills, their talents, and their abilities. Because a lot of them, they do hair. They got little side hustles. They do nails. They do nails, hair, and tracks. What's up? And I'm going to support Black business and support my students every time.
I think that at this point of the conversation, this is a little bit of a reach to try to validate or prove his points. Again, this is all just my personal opinion, because most girls who are in middle school are not getting paid for trades. So I could see if maybe you're, some girl in high school and, you braid people's hair in high school and you get paid for that as a side job or a side hustle. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I know, a lot of young middle school girls who are between the ages of 11, 12 to 13, 14, they're not really focused on side hustles or making money at that point. Most of them are just going to school, maybe in extracurricular activities, and going home. It is not really about the, make a little money to pay for certain things at that age and stage. Just from my observation, from my real life, from people I really know, and also my personal opinion, I do not believe that they are at the space where they are doing their side hustle thing and trying to make money. Also, I think that it's very important. I don't want to get too deep into it. I want to play a little bit more, but I think it's very important that, as he's having this conversation and saying, oh, it shows where this person who commented, their mind is, because they don't agree with the situation that is going on. I think that we have to be careful when we have these conversations, because, do we want to protect these children or do we not want to? And I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that after he talks a little bit more.
Someone also mentioned, oh, I would love to see some of your guy BFFs in the video instead of just your girl. Bro, do you actually think middle school boys are trying to help their male teacher take his hair out? My sister, what? You only saw girls taking out my hair because only girls wanted to do that. No guys were like, oh, Mr. White, can you I want to take your braids out. Bro, middle school boys are not on that. They was on the basketball court. They were on the dartboard. They weren't worried about my hair. I think of some other things people were saying in the comments.
This is so unprofessional. What if visitors come into the school? What does the administration think? Where's the admin? What about the parents? What do they think? Haha. Oh, this is how it starts. They start doing stuff like this just to get comfortable, and then they start trying more.
I hate the fact that simply because there are incidences of teachers taking advantage of minors, that there's just this view that, oh, all teachers are on that type time just because of their close-knit relationships with their students. Not all teachers are sick in the head trying to go after minors.
Even if it isn't the teacher, what if the girl is trying to make a move?
Bro, I'm rooted enough in my morals and ethics that in the rare case a student does overstep the boundaries that's there, because people are saying, oh, there's no boundaries because he was getting his hair done. Bro, I got boundaries. You need to have boundaries just as a human, but hair, bro, it's hair. But in the rare case a student does overstep a boundary, it is my duty, it is my obligation to correct the behavior. Again, not all teachers are trying to take advantage of minors.
So this is very interesting, because he said that, somebody commented in the comment section and asked, why weren't there also male students taking out his hair? And he said because, the male students do not want to do that. They do not want to partake in that type of activity. And so they're on the basketball court, they're playing games and stuff like that. They do not want to do these kind of, what would be considered as feminine things, as, painting nails or taking out somebody's hair. I thought that was a very interesting point that he made, that because what's very interesting is that though boys do not partake in things like, playing in the teacher's hair or painting the teacher's nails or doing any of those things, we see more oftentimes than not that a lot of these female teachers are getting pregnant by these students who are males. And if they're not even in the space where they are braiding the teacher's hair, doing the teacher's nails, having any kind of physical touch with the teacher, but somehow they are still able to cross certain boundaries and cross certain lines. So if that's a possibility for these young men who, again, are not in a space of close proximity with their teacher, physically touching them in front of the class, then what would be so far-fetched to believe that a young woman who maybe is not understanding her hormones at the time, maybe she feels some kind of way, especially because it is a younger teacher, what if she is in a space where she is feeling certain emotions towards her teacher and is getting validated by the fact that she is able to touch him whenever she feels like it? Oh, I could just bring, he my boo. I could just bring nail polish to the school and paint his nails because he's just going to let me. I can go and touch his hair whenever I feel like it because he's going to let me. I think that it is very damaging when a person is having a conversation and they are only speaking for themselves. However, they are creating a space that it will draw comfort to people who may not have the same intentions that this gentleman says that he has. I think it is very, to act like you can't fathom or understand why people might have a problem with the conversation is what gets me. You see, in my personal opinion, if he would have said something like, I understand that there are people who are out there, but I just want to let everybody know that that's not me. That's not what I stand for. And I do get it, right? Like, I do get the fact that there are people who overstep boundaries. I do get the fact that people do take advantage of power. I do understand that these things happen, but I just want to speak my claim for myself. This would be a different conversation. But to try to make everyone comfortable with the situation based off of, your moral compass or who you are as a person, I think is very dangerous rhetoric to put out there, because you are now opening the door that other male teachers can start doing the same things. And what if they don't have the same mindset as you? Other female teachers can take on the same mindset. And what if they don't have the same mindset as you?
Side note, because I just watched this back and it looked like I'm bald. I got cornrows. I just got a big ass forehead. But anyway, as I mentioned in the video, I don't have kids of my own, so my students are literally my children. I love these kids as if they were my own. The very last thing I want to do to my children is take advantage of them and harm them in any way. That's not what we're going for. That's not why I'm a teacher. People are saying like, oh, you ain't got to defend yourself against. I mean, I know I don't, but I still got to put my 2 cents in. Because if you've been following me, you've seen or just scrolled through a few of my videos, you can see, like, me personally, my bullshit meter or my creep or weirdo meter or radar is like dialed in. I can spot fake ass energy or a creep ass dude from a mile away. Energy never lies, so the real no. Not only is my creep radar dialed in, these girls, their radars are also dialed in. They're all just not these clueless girls running around with their, heads or chicken with their heads cut off. If they get any weird-ass vibes from anybody, especially a grown man, they're going to keep their distance every time. I've literally experienced this, seen some of my students do this very thing. If they feel like you're a creep, bro, they're not getting close to you, they're not going to talk to you, let alone take your hair out. As far as it being unprofessional, I can see that a little bit.
Before he goes into being unprofessional, I want to talk about this creep meter that he says that he has and that these young again, between the ages of like 11, 12 to about 13, 14-ish, that he says that they are so aware of this creep meter and that they have all this knowledge. I want to be honest. You can only have a creep meter but so much, especially at a young age. And you want to know why? Because the whole creep thing, there are people who are blatant with their actions, and then there's people who hide behind good behavior and still have the same intent. You can see somebody who is not touching anyone, not doing anything that seems weird, not filming anything on their phone of anybody getting their hair braided or anything like that, just as the female teachers I've mentioned who have inappropriate relationships with their young male students and get pregnant by them, and in class they seem like the most decent person, like they would never do that. But she's a creep. And then you have people who are just blatant and are just out there and do things in plain sight that you think might be weird or off. And then they're like, no, but my intentions, and they might, it's possible that they might not do certain things. You just never know. And what gets me is that there's a lot of women who are in this conversation who are 100%, 1,000% standing with the teacher. And especially with the fact that there are so many single mothers out there, it's a little bit mind-boggling to me. Because your child spends majority of their time in school. You would want your child to have a comfortable relationship with their teachers. However, not to the point that they mistake the relationship with their teacher as this is my parent or family member or bestie or friend. There needs to be a large distinction of authority or authoritative figure and, student. Yes, you could be a guidance counselor or somebody to talk to or whatever the case is, but it can be very dangerous also, again, if we're trying to create a space that maybe the student feels that they are just so close and so close knit and intimate with the teacher, not necessarily in the physical sense of like actually sleeping with somebody, but just so close where maybe the lines can be blurred a little bit, where they might start to even think or feel certain things. That's dangerous. Even worse, if maybe they have a stricter parent at home and they feel like they can just so easily talk to you. That can create a lot of problems. Too many problems. Not just on the side of the student, but on the side of the teacher as well. I think it's crazy too that, in this day and age, that women are so, oh, this is crazy. People overdoing it, this and that. I think that especially when you have young children, whether it is a male or a female, I think that it would behoove you to think that everybody is a creep. Not innocent until proven guilty. Just assume that everybody is weird. Assume that everybody is strange. Because what do I always say? Prevention is better than cure. That's my personal opinion. Because once that innocence is tampered with, that's it.
Oh, what if there were visitors?
Bro, it was a Friday. At the end of the day, 10 minutes before dismissal time. Work is done for the week. Work is done for the day. Fridays are usually our chill days. If they work and do what they're supposed to do Monday through Thursday, Friday I usually give them a day where they could just chill. But we didn't chill this Friday. We did presentations. And then after, I said if they did a good job, we can chill. And during that time, right before dismissal, I was going to get my hair taken out. What else did I miss? Oh, admin, parents, well aware of my social media presence. They're well aware of they love my content. My principal is constantly talking about my videos, even in staff meetings.
Oh, this is the viral guy. This is TikTok. He's going viral every time, all the time.
Parents, every time they see me,
Mr. White, you're like a comedian. I love your videos.
Most of the students you see in my videos, their parents literally signed media release forms so they could be in my TikTok and in my Instagram videos. Of course, if we have visitors at the school, no, I'm probably not going to be getting my hair taken out because that would be dumb. Admin does a good job at letting us know, oh, we're going to have this person in the school, or this group is coming, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you look the part, wear some school gear, rocked out your school attire. None of that on that day. So, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if him saying that the principal is okay with it, and then saying that, you know, administration is okay with it, if he thought that that would maybe assist other people to thinking that it was okay, or if it was right or it's wrong. Again, if it was my child, this is just my personal opinion. And again, this is not I don't know this teacher. Okay. I don't know him personally, just like most teachers and students and most parents don't know their teachers personally. A lot of parents don't know their kids' teachers personally on a friendship level, cool like that. See me and come live with me is two very different things. I might know you on a surface level and have conversations with you, but I don't know what you're really into. But that's just being honest. But the principal being okay with it and the administration being okay with it does not mean that all the parents should be okay with it. Does not mean that men, just like this man who commented, should be okay with it because of how he feels about his child and not wanting certain boundaries crossed. It doesn't matter. To me, it just seems like the whole school dropped the ball. It doesn't mean that it should be behavior that should be allowed and that everybody should turn a blind eye to similar things like this just because this video went viral. Again, that's opening the door to very scary things. For the sake of what? One person, posting something, and just because you have media release forms, or just because you think you're trying to normalize it as having a great relationship with your students, as much as you love them as they were your children, they're not. And that's just the truth. And again, it's mind-boggling to me that as a man in 2024, okay, when things are rough, people are getting accused, wrongfully accused for doing things. People lie, people make up stuff. All it takes is one young girl to have feelings for you, and for you to quote unquote reinforce the boundaries and check her or put her in her place and let her know that it's not okay. And for her to then create a whole scenario of something that did not happen. And when people go back and run the tape, they say, well, you did have a pretty intimate relationship with your students. All of a sudden, the principal, the admin, the parents that are cool with you are looking at you funny. All of a sudden, oh, well, he did have them in his classroom. Oh, she was over there a lot. Oh, she was always the one taking out his hair. Oh, she always was close to him. That's all it takes is one lie for your whole career to be ruined. You wouldn't want, just being my personal opinion, you wouldn't want to be close to nobody kids in this way. This is very different than you having a bonding relationship and, you outside playing soccer or playing basketball or playing football with the boys. It's very different. Very different than somebody being in your intimate space and touching you. Normally when kids go to school, unless they are literally in cosmetology school, they do not touch their teacher's hair. They don't. They do not touch their teacher's hands unless it's a handshake or a fist pump. They don't. They don't. And again, I just have to be honest from my own personal opinion. Rivah love the kids. Just like that, I have this thing in me, this innate motherly thing in me that I don't think that these things should be normalized. I don't think that this kind of relationship should be normalized, in my personal opinion. Whether you have good intentions or not, you can express those good intentions in very different ways. Doesn't have to be touch.
And literally, when I was to get my hair taken out, the principal came in. He came in the room. He saw what was going on. He saw the operation. It walked right out. I didn't get a call or text, Mr. I need to talk to you about this. Or the next day or today when I came to school, like, hey, this parent saw this. They're trying, bro, they do not care. They love this. They love it. And as far as it being unprofessional, like I said, I can see that. But again, some of our views of professionalism is stuck in the late 1900s. These are the same people that think like, oh, you're not going to get a job if you got debt. Bro, arms tatted, legs tatted. I'm literally tatted up like the subway in Harlem. One thing I pride myself on is being 100% authentically, unapologetically myself. I had this philosophy that I live by, which is if someone is not doing anything that is harming themselves, someone, or something, mind your damn business. You will never be criticized by someone doing more than you, only someone doing less. If you got haters and people talking shit about what you're doing, most likely you're probably doing something right. I had a conversation with my mom a while back because a similar incident like this happened. Posted a video and there's a few people, oh, it's inappropriate, just because of the type of relationship I have with my students. But she said that you basically might as well get used to stuff like this happening or people saying stuff like this because you are a young black man, you are handsome, you're attractive, and you have a good relationship with your students. So people are always going to try to reach and make something out of nothing.
I want to just say something. One, I don't think that just because people disagree with you necessarily makes them a hater. I just want to say that. I don't think that just because somebody disagrees with the things that you're doing or has a different perspective doesn't necessarily make them a hater. I don't believe so. There's a lot of, I'll use myself for an example. There's a lot of women who, disagree with the things that I say about women, about respecting your man, about being submissive. There's a lot of women who disagree. I don't necessarily look at those women and think that they are a hater. I more think that they have a different perspective. Hence why I have the conversations and I offer a different perspective. There's so many women who say, man, I used to think this way. And now that I am in a relationship, I had this DM like maybe 2-3 days ago. Now that I'm in a relationship, I now see things differently because you've changed my perspective, because I was, one of those people who didn't want to be this and didn't want to agree with that. But then when I got with somebody who was real with me, I knew that I had to change my perspective to rise to the occasion and be in the relationship with that person. I think if somebody is like maybe clowning you or clowning the way you look or talking about your amount of followers and so that could be seen as somebody that's a hater. But somebody who just has a different perspective of you, I don't think that there's anything, that's wrong with somebody having a different perspective. Another thing I thought was interesting is that he said that his mom, had a conversation with him because there was something previous that went viral and he received backlash again that people thought it was inappropriate. So that's not one time that this has happened. This has happened another time as well. And his mother said, because you are a young black man, because you are attractive, and because you have a good relationship with your students. I think that just being able to point those 3 things out alone would make sense as to why you should protect yourself. Regardless of your intentions, regardless of how you think, regardless of how much you love these students, regardless of if you look at them as your own kids, I think it would behoove you to protect yourself. Knowing what could be said, knowing what could happen. But instead, you're actually the one who is posting these things. Let's say, for example, the teacher's okay with it at the school, the admin is okay with it, the principal's okay with it, and the parents are okay with it. You're posting it on social media with a whole bunch of people who do not have a relationship with you and do not know you. And in that space, again, I have to go back to the point, you are trying to normalize something that a lot of parents are saying they don't want this normalized. They do not want teachers in school creating these comfortable relationships where a person could possibly have bad intentions. You say you don't. A person could. And now nobody's speaking up because the lines are blurred based off of situations like this. I have to say it again. I saw a female teacher who tried to post the same video of her students taking her helping her take her hair out. She's a woman. They are female students, bad and not so bad. I still think it's wrong. I still don't know why you're up in this teacher's head. Okay, I'm just being honest. It's not hygienic. It is very unprofessional. It has nothing to do with a 1900s mentality. It's just unprofessional. It just is. The same way that if somebody, worked in a professional environment or, wore a bonnet to work, it would be unprofessional. You're not presentable. I really want to know what you guys think about this. Let's continue.
But that concludes this rant. I do appreciate all the people who are supportive, and they, like I said, energy never lies. The real know what's up. Y'all can feel it. As far as the 5%ers are concerned, I'd recommend unpacking some of the stuff that y'all got going on, because clearly it's affecting your ability to just see the world for what it is. The student that you see in this video has goals and aspirations to be a nail tech. Not only does she do nails, she does hair, makeup, she's a dancer, super intelligent. She's pretty much a jack of all trades. Since that's the homie, she came up and saw my nails looking a little rough, and she decided she wanted to give me a fresh, clear coat.
I don't want my daughter to be your homie. I want her to be your student. Can I just put that out there? This is what I'm a little confused about. You see, you can absolutely allow the students in your class to work on these things or exercise these things, but why can't they do it with one another? Why can't she paint another little girl's nails in the classroom? If she has free time and you tell her, okay, if you want to do that, cool, no problem. You can do that with your friend whenever she finishes what she's doing. If you guys have time, you guys can do that together. Oh, if you have free time, somebody wants to do hair. Okay, why can't they practice on one another? Why is it involving the authority in the room? This is another problem. Okay. Another problem with this situation is, and I want to say this again, I want to reiterate again, I don't know this teacher personally. I don't know his mindset. I don't know his values. I don't know his morals. I don't know his intentions. I do not know. Okay. He said that he has no ill intentions with these students. He said that he has no, he's not trying to cross any boundaries. He looks at these children as his own. He looks at it in like a family sense or whatever the case is. So that's all I have to say. I'm not saying this to drill it home with this specific teacher. I'm speaking in general of this behavior being normalized with all students and teachers and people who don't have the same intentions. That's why I'm having the conversation, because there are people who do not have those intentions. There are people who are teachers and they're young and they know the students are young and they absolutely have the mindset that they want to connect with the students in an emotional way and be in relationships with these students. There are people of that. How do I know that? Every time I turn around, there's a woman who is pregnant by a student. I'm just putting it out. I'm just being honest. So I'm talking about teachers as a whole, whether it's male or female. Whenever there is an authoritative figure and the lines are blurred, or there's a sense of comfort between the student and teacher, in a young child's mind, it allows them to think that the child and the teacher are on the same playing field. So that whole, oh, you think you grown? It allows children to think that they are grown. Because they are doing things for you. Oh, I did his nails. I took out his hair. We homies. That's my homie. He's way older than me. Yeah, I'm grown. Then they take that same mindset home. And when the parent is not referring to their child as the homie or making them feel like they're on the same playing field, then a lot of the children, a lot of times, they then try to combat that energy, or they try to basically try to make the parent behave like the teacher. Oh, that's not fair. You don't let me do this. You don't let me do that. Oh, that's why my teacher. And then it makes it seem like the parent is being unfair or unreasonable. And the teacher has an upper hand because he's cool and you're not. Now it makes the child think that, oh, if I want to talk about my problems or if I want to do anything, this teacher is a safe space. And I have to say it again. If the teacher does not have the right intentions, this will cause a problem. Because they're going to go to the safe space. They only trust the safe space. And they're not going to go to the parent because, oh, my parent always overreacts. They always do the most. Oh, they always trying to put me in my place. Oh, they always trying to, make it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, they don't listen to me like you do. Because you're cool. Because I'm your homie. Because you get me. Because when I'm in school, you see a different version of me, the adult version of me, where my parent sees the child because they are the authority. I hope y'all are really following what I'm saying.
Motherfucking, damn, ham, a fucking sandwich.
A mixed up.
I thought this video was interesting because, again, I just want to go over the ages of, most students in middle school. They are around the ages of like 11, 12. And then it goes all the way up to about 13, 14. If they get lift back, sometimes 15. Okay. He posted this video on his TikTok and it says 13-year-old me at Hooters for the first time. And it's his mom correcting him. It's supposed to be a joke, but it's basically like he's 13. He's seeing these fine women at 13 and he's stuttering on his words, don't even know how to think straight because he's just seeing these fine women, and his mom looking at him sideways like, get it together. Okay, I know what you're doing. So if you can go into that 13-year-old's mind and understand the attraction that you as a 13-year-old had for adult women who were working a job as waitresses, then how come you are having a hard time understanding why parents or teachers, other teachers, or just people who are commenting on social media are having a discourse about these 13-year-olds taking out your hair based off of the feelings or emotions that these younger children might have? How is that hard to grasp or comprehend when you can post this video on social media basically portraying the same thing that people are saying? Because I have to say it again. It's not about you. It's not all about you. You have to think for the younger children as well. The younger girls who might have a crush on you and are using these things to get close to you. Again, who might get their feelings hurt if they try to quote unquote make a move and you're not with it and then create a lie. Say you did something you didn't even do. Say you said something you didn't even say. It opens the doors for havoc. And again, the reason why I disagree with the behavior overall is because there is no way to know anybody's intentions until it's too late. There's no way. It's not possible. We can't say all teachers are good people. We can't even say all preachers are good people. We can't say all nurses are good people. We cannot pick and say all those people in that profession are good people. We cannot say it. And since we can't, we need to create the structure and the boundaries to protect the teachers and to protect the children. Clear, definitive boundaries. Stuff that is not okay. Clear professionalism. That way, even if a fool think, they know, oh no, I can't do that because based on the boundaries, based on the parameters of what's going on, make it real hard. Make it very difficult for people to do the wrong thing. Especially in those environments. There was another part of the video. I'm just going to stop it right here. I really want to know you guys' opinions. I want to hear your perspectives. I want to hear your thought process. And I also want to reiterate, it has nothing to do with this conversation is not about a gender war or about trying to tear down a black man who's in a good profession. Y'all should know by now I'm not on that type of time. However, when it comes to protecting the children, when it comes to also protecting these teachers or these authoritative figures who are in these positions who could lose everything, again, all it takes is one false allegation. When it comes on being honest about things, when it comes on speaking the truth and giving you guys my honest, unfiltered opinion, I'm going to do that. I had so many people asking me about this video and wanting to know my thoughts on it. And I had to give it to you truthfully and honestly, as I always do. Not just because it's a man who's in the forefront of the conversation means that I'm going to change my tune or try to talk about it in a certain way and change the conversation. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be honest all the time. I'm always going to tell you guys my honest opinion. I understand that there are students out there or kids out there who are fatherless, who don't have a father, who don't have brothers, who don't have men around them. And, you know, it is important for them to have positive interactions with male figures, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a guidance counselor, whether it's a principal. Absolutely. I think that playing that role for some children who do not have that, I completely respect it. However, I think that there's ways that that role can be played, again, without physical touch, without invading personal space, because it can create situations that can be hard to decipher who's who. That's just my personal opinion. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.